مصرين على العيش.
Well, that was just one aid worker's walk to work. Let's speak now to UNRWA's Director of Communications, Juliette Touma. She joins us live from Jordan. Thank you so much for being on the programme. Just tell me what your colleagues are finding in terms of their operations in the south.
I mean, thank you for showing the video with Jihan, who is one of our unsung heroes who continues to go to work every single day, walking while smelling the smell of death, really. 130 of our colleagues, Matthew, have been confirmed killed. This is the most updated piece of information that I got just now. And the pause that happened for a few days allowed our teams to go and look for other colleagues, and sadly the number of killed UNRWA colleagues continues to increase.
And in terms now that the ceasefire is over, just give me a sense of what you're trying to do on the ground, because as Paul Adams was saying, there are some of those people now in the south who have moved 3, 4, 5, 6 times so far.
No, precisely. Paul is absolutely right. You see, there are people who have moved multiple times in search of safety that they never found, because simply no place is safe in the Gaza Strip. We said this from early on. You and I spoke a number of times, and I told you this here. No place is safe. And now even the south, which was believed to be safer but was never really safe, is no longer safe. Our teams on the ground are reporting very heavy bombardment in the area, not only in Khan Yunis, but also in Rafah. I was there just before the pause kicked in, and there was constant bombardment all the time during the day and during the night.
This notion of the Israeli authorities setting out maps, blocks where they're telling people to leave, telling them to go to safe areas. What is your view, your overarching view of that tactic? The Israelis are saying that is to try to ensure the safety for civilians, but in terms of real-life practicality on the ground, what is your view?
That no place is safe, that even the UNRWA shelters, which are now hosting 1.2 million people, they are overcrowded. They are not safe. We have recorded since the war began more than 100 hits on UNRWA facilities, including those that were sheltering families. So no place is safe, not Rafah, not Khan Yunis, and there is no such thing as a safe zone in the Gaza Strip. There is no such thing.
Mark Regev, I talked to the Prime Minister's spokesman only on the programme an hour or so ago, who was rejecting exactly that, but then went on to talk about how Israel is going to beef up its operations in the south. That was the phrase he used in terms of trying to exert maximum pressure to get the hostages released. There is no prospect, it seems, of another pause for some while whilst that strategy is actually played out. Your thoughts if we have an elongated period now of military operations?
It's the horrors that are going to repeat themselves from the first weeks of the war until the pause came into place. It's the same horror. It's the displacement, it's the fear, it's the uncertainty, it's the grief. We're talking about 2 million people being forced to being pushed, being moved into what is less than 1/3 of the total territory of Gaza. It's not going to work. This is not going to work.
And do you feel frustration that it seems no one is really listening to you?
Look, the pause was very welcome, and it brought respite to people in Gaza, and it brought the release of the Israeli hostages. We got to go back to that. That was very, very welcome. And we also have to have a flow of humanitarian supplies, because you see, since the pause came to an end, we have seen a very significant decrease in the humanitarian assistance and fuel coming into Gaza. So we're really fearful that we're going to go back to square zero, to where we were before the pause.
Juliette Touma, live there from Jordan. Thanks once again for joining us on BBC News. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Matthew.
around the world and across the UK, you're watching BBC News.